So, ladies and gentlemen, hip hop has been around for several decades now, and ladies and gentlemen, hip hop has been around for several decades now, and at a fairly early point, people began to realize that hip hop and R&B mesh together like peanut butter and jelly. It's a match made in heaven. It works out very well. The way these genres can bend and bleed into each other, it works out extremely well. So much so to where now people almost think that hip hop and R&B are pretty much the same genre at this point, right? Because most rappers, like myself and many other people, they try to sing from time to time, and also many singers try to rap from time to time. Like, it goes back and forth. And then also people in R&B started to adopt more of a hip hop aesthetic, but that's not just an R&B thing. That's more of just a world thing. People across the world really gravitate towards hip hop aesthetics as far as like the fashion choices and whatnot. But still, we've seen many iconic collaborations over the years that have mesmerized us, pun intended. Collaborations between hip hop and R&B duos like Ja Rule and Ashanti, as well as Method Man and Mary J. Blige, among many others. You know, you could throw in a whole lot of people. But I wanted to make a video talking about some R&B, some hip hop and R&B collabs, some hip hop and R&B duos. Not obviously they're not official duos per se, they're individual artists, but they team up a lot to where I'm just referring to them as a duo. So hip hop hip hop R&B duos from the 2010s that I think were very underrated, that had a lot of dope songs that should be considered a I don't know if I would go as far as to say an iconic, but I'm gonna say it anyway. An iconic impact. I mean, an iconic presence when you think about what they did, the type of songs that they put out during their heyday. And the criteria, of course, is gonna be songs and artists that put stuff out throughout the 2010s specifically. And then also it's gonna be rap and R&B duos that at least they collaborated at least 3 times. Now, there's plenty of collabs over the years from rappers and R&B artists that only collabed for one song, but it was so amazing. But I wanted to focus on duos that collabed for at least 3 songs. So the first one that I wanted to list was Miguel and J. Cole. And Miguel, in my opinion, extremely underrated artist. Artists who in the 2010s, and obviously I'm biased because, you know, during the 2010s I was in high school, obviously, right? So this is the period where I was growing up listening to the most music, but and really getting inspiration to pursue music myself. I also am a rapper and producer. My name is Mfasis. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, by the way. But still, I think Miguel has at least 2 classics, arguably 3, but at least 2 classics when you think about his first and second albums. But specifically the whenever he collabs with J. Cole, it usually works out phenomenally. Not saying it's perfect every time, but they have good chemistry together. One of the first times we see them together on a track is on the classic song All I Want Is You, off of Miguel's debut album of the same name. And it's just a dope song, man. Like, J. Cole was doing a great job painting a picture of about a female that he was dealing with, who, you know, they were in the midst of a very tricky situation. You know, great punchlines like what he's saying, and come back, baby, boomerang. I know that sounds simple, but still, I think it was a great punchline in the course of that song. And then also Miguel's an amazing singer, so it just worked out very well. Also, the beat was very dope. It's one of those beats that feel old and new at the same exact time. Like, it feels like something that could have came out in the 90s, but at the same time it sounds like something that could have came out literally today in 2025, and they put it out in, I believe it came out 2010. Great song. And then from there, another song they collabed on was the song Power Trip, which was that was an even bigger song. Then Power Trip is probably the biggest song they did together off of J. Cole's Born Sinner album. Another great song, a dope beat, a dope sample that J. Cole turned into the song. Great chemistry yet again, and just a very memorable song for me. And then another song they collaborated on was Come Through and Chill. Now, I'm not a big fan of this collab because even though Miguel did a great job on the song, I don't like what J. Cole did with his verse. I don't like how he approached his verse with the whole leaning on the angle of kind of talking about political topics and how he's feeling stressed out and this. And it's like, that's not really what I want to hear on a smooth song that's literally called "Come Through and Chill." But that's just me. But still, overall, all three of these songs were great songs that showed just how much chemistry they have. Another collab I thought was underrated from the 2010s was Miguel and Wale. Yes, I'm using Miguel again. Listen, Miguel was on a run in the 2010s. His run was very underrated. But Miguel and Wale, very dope collaboration in my opinion. They've collabed on songs like Lotus Flower Bomb off of Wale's Ambition album. They also collaborated on the song Coffee by Miguel. And then also there's one other song, I think. Is there another song? Okay, I might be wrong. I might have just broken my own rule because I'm not sure if there's a third one off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure there is. I don't want to take too much time away looking it up just now because I could have sworn there was another one. But either way, they've had some amazing collaborations over the years. Another duo that has great chemistry. And the final duo that I wanted to bring up in this video, because I wanted this to be quick, was Tyga and Chris Brown. Like, I know some people may not agree with that one, but I thought that Tyga and Chris Brown had great chemistry. Also, Tyga and Chris Brown, they put out like an entire album together, an entire mixtape, like a mixtape and an album. Like they've had a lot of music they've made together. But in general, I do think they work pretty well together. They claim to be best friends or friends in real life. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know. Either way, they have good chemistry. The first time I remember hearing them on a song together is the song Deuces, which is a classic song. Then also we've heard other songs from them like the song Ayo, and the entire Fan of the Fan mixtape and the entire Fan of the Fan album had a lot of potential. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are also putting something out right now as well, like a sequel to the Fan of the Fan. But either way, or either that or they're going on tour. But the again, like the song Holla at Me, like just so many dope collabs between them. Regardless of how you feel about them as people, I'm not here to talk about who they are as people. That's none of my business. I just wanted to talk in general about music. Let me know what were some R&B and hip hop collaborations in the 2010s that you think were that you enjoyed the most, that you thought were the best, and that you think may be a little underrated.